I left my wedding band on the kitchen table, drained the bank accounts, and vanished. Didn't care what she'd think when she found out. Honestly, still don't. Now I'm living deep upstate, woods all around, miles from the concrete jungle of lies and betrayals that choked my life. First time in years, I feel like I can actually breathe. Before I dive into the whole mess, hit that like button, subscribe, you know the drill. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Used to think I had it all. The classic New York dream. Steady job, wife I supposedly adored. Business we sweated blood to build from scratch. Events management in this city, it's a pressure cooker, but it was ours, Emily's, and mine. Every insane client, every last-minute crisis felt worth it because we were in it together. I handled the logistics, the money, the behind-the-scenes grind. Kept everything organized, deadlines met, books balanced. Emily, she was pure creative fire. Ideas poured out of her, she could spin straw into gold, and clients ate it up. She didn't just plan events, she conjured experiences. Emily wasn't just my business partner, she was my partner, period. When we started the company, crammed into that tiny Brooklyn apartment, fueled by coffee and delusion, I thought I'd won the lottery. Trusted her completely, loved her like oxygen. We were drowning in work, sure, but it felt like we were building something real, something that would last. Not just a company, a life. Never once questioned her loyalty. Why would I? She was my wife, my best friend, the other half of everything. Thought we had the kind of bond that could weather anything. Trust, that was the bedrock of everything we'd built. Thought it was unbreakable. Looking back, I wonder if I was just blind. Maybe I saw the cracks but refused to look. Or maybe, for a while there, it really was as perfect as I imagined. All I know is back then I believed in us, in Emily and David, completely. Then the calls started. One number kept popping up on her phone. At first, didn't think twice, but then I noticed a pattern. Every time that number flashed, she'd either hit ignore or answer and bolt to another room. Living in a shoebox Manhattan apartment, another room meant the bathroom or the fire escape. Real subtle. One night, I finally asked, casual as I could manage, "Who's been calling so much?" She barely glanced up from her laptop, just shrugged and said, "Client, late night client." Like it was the most normal thing in the world. No hesitation, no explanation, nothing. But the calls didn't stop. And something about the way she acted, that offhand dismissal, it started to gnaw at me. What kind of client calls at 9, 10 at night, and why the cloak and dagger routine to take the calls? Didn't take long before I snapped. About a week later, she crashed on the couch, phone still clutched in her hand, scrolling through God knows what. Screen was still lit, showing messages. I know, snooping, low blow, whatever. But I was drowning in this feeling, this certainty that something was wrong. Needed to know, needed to see. I picked up her phone, felt like I was crossing some invisible line, stepping into forbidden territory. What I saw confirmed everything. Messages, screens and screens of them, between her and that client. Long, rambling conversations, photos, and the kind of stuff you just don't say to someone you're doing business with. You know the kind. Intimate. Too intimate. Affair. Just like that, the words slammed into me, like a punch to the gut. Felt like someone ripped open my chest and shoved in a block of ice. Didn't yell, didn't smash anything, just sat there, phone shaking in my hand, staring at the digital proof of my life detonating. First wave was numbness. Then this cold, hard anger started to simmer. What to do? Confront her? Scream? Pack a bag and walk out that door right then and there? None of it felt right. Confrontation would be a performance. Excuses, lies, tears she probably wouldn't even mean. Didn't want to see her fake sorry. Decided to sit on it. Let the anger cool down to something sharper, something colder. Think it through. Figure out the next move. But life, it's got a sick sense of humor, right? Threw me another curveball, one I never saw coming. Couple weeks after the phone reveal, I went to the doctor. Been feeling off for months. Tired all the time, losing weight without trying, this dull ache in my chest that wouldn't quit. Figured it was stress. New York pace, maybe just needed to hit the gym. But the test results came back. Doctor sat me down, face grim, and dropped the bomb. Terminal. 2 years, maybe 5 if I got lucky, played the odds, whatever. Terminal. Let me tell you, that word hits different, like a freight train. Everything in your life, everything you thought mattered, just flips upside down in a split second. Didn't hear much after no cure. Mine just went blank. No cure, just a ticking clock. Funny thing is, wasn't even scared. Weird, right? Diagnosis changed everything. When you know the clock's running out, suddenly a lot of stuff just doesn't matter anymore. One thing became crystal clear in that doctor's office. No way in hell was I spending my last year, maybe years, pretending everything was fine with her. No way. Wasn't going to sit across the dinner table every night, forcing a smile while she texted Mr. Client under the table. Wasn't going to hang around waiting for her to finally get around to ending things. I wanted out. But I was going out on my own terms. Dying, it gives you this crazy clarity. You stop sweating the small stuff. Stop worrying about what people will think, the right way to do things. You start asking yourself real questions. What do I actually want? And what I wanted more than anything was freedom. Freedom from her, from the lies, from the whole goddamn charade, from the fake smiles and forced conversations. That's when the plan started to take shape. First thing, money. Started pulling cash out of our joint accounts. Not all at once, no rookie mistakes. Slow and steady, made it look natural. Small withdrawals here and there, ATM runs, cash back at the grocery store. Nothing she'd notice, not if she even bothered to look at the statements, which I doubted. Over a few weeks, siphoned off enough to set myself up, somewhere far away. Not enough to leave her broke, not yet. The final chunk, that was for after I disappeared. Wanted her to feel it, the weight of what she'd done. Financial weight, emotional weight, all of it. Next, the business. We built it together, yeah. But if she could betray me in our marriage, what was loyalty worth to her in business? Couldn't trust her with anything anymore. Didn't want to torch the whole company, not right away. Too messy, too traceable. Instead, I went subtle. Worked behind the scenes where she'd never think to look. I knew those business accounts inside and out. Every client payment, every expense, every digital paper trail. Set up a private account, burner account basically, one she didn't know existed. Started diverting funds. Small transfers at first. Client would pay us, and instead of the full amount hitting our joint business account, a sliver would get rerouted to my personal account. Just a little off the top, here and there. Building a cushion, but keeping it under the radar. What made it so easy? Her distraction. She wasn't paying attention to the money because her head was somewhere else. Somewhere with him. While I was quietly dismantling everything we'd built, she was probably planning her next rendezvous. Perfect cover. Started selling off some personal stuff. Things she wouldn't miss. Old camera gear, some vintage records, stuff collecting dust in the closet. Needed cash and needed to lighten the load. Packing light was key. Researched places, way off the grid, places no one would think to look for a New Yorker, places where I could actually start fresh, far from her lies, far from the city's toxic energy, far from the whole damn mess. Didn't leave a trail, no breadcrumbs, no cryptic notes, no goodbye emails, just me, a backpack, and a plan she'd never see coming. By the time I was done, I wasn't just walking away from her. I was erasing myself from the life we'd built, brick by brick. Cruel? Maybe. Probably, but you gotta understand I was done. Done with her, done with us. And when you're staring down the barrel of a terminal diagnosis, you don't have time to waste on being nice, on doing things the right way. You do what you have to do, and honestly, don't regret a second of it. Not then, not now. Remember the last morning in that apartment like it was yesterday. Sat on the edge of the bed for a long time, just staring at the wall, trying to burn every detail into my memory. The chipped paint, the water stain on the ceiling, the way the morning light hit the fire escape across the street. She was still asleep when I walked past the bedroom, probably dreaming about him. Went into the kitchen, placed my wedding band on the table, next to her keys, her usual spot. Wasn't some big emotional gesture, not like in the movies, no dramatic tears, no lingering glances, just the ring. My way of saying, I'm out, done, finished. Didn't pack much, backpack with a few clothes, basic supplies, my old journal. Drove off in the pre-dawn light, that was it. No turning back, already arranged for a cabin upstate. Tucked away in the Catskills, miles from anywhere. Nothing fancy, wooden box really. Bed, table, wood stove, but it's mine. It's enough. Wake up to sunlight streaming through the trees, fall asleep to the sound of crickets. No Wi-Fi, no notifications, no phone buzzing every 5 seconds. Just me, the woods, and my thoughts. Quiet. Too quiet sometimes. Met a few people out here. Jack, gruff old guy, used to be a lawyer down in the city. Doesn't talk much about why he left, but you can see it in his eyes. Running from something. Maria, younger than me, said she came here to escape a world that made her feel invisible. Everyone's got their story, their reason for ditching everything. In a weird way, it makes you feel like you belong. Like you're not the only one who couldn't take it anymore. Even with the peace, the quiet days and nights, there are scars. Can't outrun your own head. Sometimes her face pops into my mind. Wonder if she's okay. Has she moved on? Does she even think about me? Then I shove those thoughts away, bury them deep. Don't want to go there. Catch myself wondering sometimes, did she check the bank accounts first? Or did she try to call, only to realize my number was gone, email gone, every trace of me scrubbed from her digital life? Wonder if she's furious. Or worse, what if she's relieved? That possibility stings more than I want to admit. What if she was already planning her own escape, just waiting for the right moment to tell me she was done? Maybe, in some twisted way, I did her a favor by leaving first. Doubt it, but the thought flickers. Try not to dwell on it. Don't know if she ever tried to find me. Probably not. Maybe she told herself I wasn't worth the effort. And yet, I also wonder, has she ever looked at that wedding band on the kitchen table? Felt even a flicker of regret? Does she wish she'd done things differently, or has she just moved on, like I never existed? Never know? Maybe that's for the best. Woods have given me a kind of freedom I didn't know I needed. Not perfect, not some fairy tale escape. Don't pretend I don't miss parts of my old life. The city buzz, the energy, even some of the chaos. But out here, I'm not pretending anymore. Just living, one day at a time. Love, though, that's the hardest part to untangle. Loved her once. Really did. Maybe that's why it hurts so much. Can't betray someone you don't care about, right? And sometimes love just isn't enough. Turns toxic, turns to ash. Out here in the woods, life's stripped down. Basics. No pretending, no bullshit small talk. No one lies to you, and you don't have to lie to yourself either. Trees don't care about your past. River doesn't ask who you've hurt. Just keeps flowing. Guess that's what I'm trying to do. Keep flowing, keep moving, even when my body starts screaming it's running out of time. Traded comfort for peace. Gave up a penthouse view for this open sky. And I'd make the same choice again. In a heartbeat. Freedom. Not what I thought it would be. Freedom for me was stepping away from the life I thought I needed, the life everyone said I should want, and finding something simpler, something honest. Death, in a weird way, felt like freedom too. Before all this, before the affair, the diagnosis, the lies, I thought death was the ultimate bad guy. Imagined it sometimes, late at night, and felt this cold dread wash over me. Used to think about what I'd leave behind. Unfinished deals, unspoken words, people who'd miss me. But now I see it different. Don't feel sorry for myself. Surprises people when I tell them. They expect tears, anger, maybe some grand, dramatic regret. But what's the point? Regret won't change anything. Anger won't buy me more time. All I can do is live what's left of my life, on my own terms. No compromises. Oh. Told you my story. Now let me flip it on you for a second. Imagine this was your life. Imagine sitting across from the person you love most, the one you've built everything with, the one you trust without question, and finding out they've been playing you. Not just a little white lie, but a deep, gut-wrenching betrayal. You see the little things first, the way they smile at their phone, the hushed conversations, the excuses that don't quite add up. Then one night, when they're asleep, you find the proof. Right there in your hand, screen glowing in the dark. Messages, photos, things they never meant for you to see. Now what? Do you stay? Do you confront them? Demand answers, knowing the lies might hurt even worse than the betrayal itself? Or do you walk away? Cut your losses, try to salvage what's left of your pride, your sanity. Let's say you decide to stay. For the kids, for the apartment, for the years you've invested. Can you honestly sit across from them at the dinner table every night, pretending you don't know? Can you keep smiling while they carry on, thinking they've gotten away with it? Or would the weight of the betrayal crush you, little by little, until there's nothing left of the person you used to be? Now flip it again. What if you leave? What if you pack up your life, disappear into the night, no explanations, no final words? You take the time to plan it, make it sting just enough for them to feel the consequences of what they've done. Then you vanish. Would that be freedom, or would the bitterness follow you, even as you tried to build a new life in the shadows? Don't know if my way was the right way. Maybe it was selfish. Maybe it was cowardly. Or maybe it was the only way I could survive. What would you have done? Could you stay and face them, knowing everything's broken? Or would you do what I did? Cut ties and start over, no matter the cost. No easy answers. Maybe there never are. But that's life, isn't it? Messy, complicated, full of choices we can't take back. So tell me, what would you do?